Hey Nintendo nerds, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, everybody. And this time, I mean it for real. Wow, that felt very weird to say because I haven't made a video in a very, very long time. In my previous video, I talked about having to go on a super long hiatus, on a very long hiatus. And I briefly explained why, but didn't really explain into detail what was going on at the time in my life. So today, I thought I would spill the tea and tell you guys all about it. It is going to be a kind of, sort of-ish long video, but if you guys know me already, I make pretty long videos on this channel. So get comfortable, stick around, grab your snack and your drink, and it's time to listen to my story. So about 2.5 months ago, a little bit more than that, I decided to take a very long hiatus. I needed it. Definitely needed it. So it was back towards the beginning of March, and I was still, busy with college and work and all that fun stuff. And if you guys know college, or if any of you guys or any of my viewers are college students, you know that they take their spring break very early in the semester. Grade schools and middle schools and high schools take it in mid-April. We take it in mid-March, sometimes very early. And that was also the time that midterms were creeping up on me like who knows what. Get me all nervous, get me all worked up, like boom, midterm time. And I definitely was not ready for that. I think the timing could not have been worse. Let me put into perspective for you what was going on during that time, during that period of my life. I just want to explain to you. During that time of the semester, I was still working 4 to 5 days a week, sometimes 6 when they needed me, because a lot of crazy started happening. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but long story short, a lot was happening at work. I had to come in to cover for shifts because we were understaffed. That's as much as I can tell you. Then I had assignments. I was taking 8 classes at the time, and 7 of the 8 classes were full classes. 7 full set of classes. The 8th class wasn't necessarily a class, it was more of a lab for the hospitality department, for all the hospitality students. Every Monday we would get speakers coming in from the industry. So the speakers from the industry would come in and talk about their experiences and how they got to their position today, how many jobs they have done in the industry, and whether their company is hiring for positions or not, and what they are hiring for. And also that class was so we could update ourselves on anything that was department related, whether it would be events that our department was hosting, student run events, and any updates we as hospitality students needed to know, and all that important fun stuff. So that wasn't really a class, that was more of a stress reliever for me on Mondays, but all of my other 7 classes were full classes, and they gave out a good amount of homework. I would either be reading 2 chapters a week and writing a summary on it, or reading 3 to 5 chapters a week in one textbook and doing mini quizzes online, or reading a chapter every week for my other class and then doing a couple of case studies, or reading 2 chapters in my other class and doing several questions and case studies. I had a lot going on, and there clearly was not enough time for me to get it all done. On top of all that, I was taking a film class, and every week I had to film with my group, and don't get me wrong, I thought that was the most fun class I've ever taken in my entire school career, because I loved my group. We got along so well together that even filming was less of a chore and definitely more fun. We had a lot of fun bloopers, and to me, it was just amazing. But the time it took for me to have to film and all of that just was a lot of time that I could have spent doing homework and catching up on work I need to get done. So that was all happening on top of me working 4 to 5 days a week, sometimes 6, but almost rarely. So you can imagine how much stress I was under, to the point where during my shifts at work, I was thinking about what assignments I could get done when the shifts were slow and I didn't have as many check-ins, because I wanted to get as much done as possible and I wanted to be as productive as possible during my shifts. So when I got home, say I was doing a PM shift and I was working from 3 to 11, when I get home, I would be able to sleep through the night instead of having to stay up an extra hour or two just to get any assignments I do the following day done, which, by the way, was very difficult for me. There were times where I had to do that, and I was very exhausted. My brain couldn't even function. It was not great, not healthy, but yet I had to do it. The reality of being a college student working full-time is that it's not fun, but we all do it anyways. So that's sort of what was happening at the time in my life. All of that happening, and it was just so much for me to handle. So then midterms rolled around, and I was just like, okay, you know what? Spring break is here, and I really don't feel like studying. Yes, I know what you guys are thinking. Kim, what are you doing? You're gonna screw yourself over. This is gonna come back and bite you in the butt. You need to study. Yes, my brain was telling me that, but my body was my body was physically exhausted and my brain was mentally exhausted. So was both, physically and mentally exhausted. And all I wanted to do was really just catch up on sleep during spring break, spend time with my mother, go out and have fun, and live a normal life. Because really, I haven't had that normal life since the semester started in January. And then spring break, of course, as per usual, ended very quickly, because when does it not? Right? And then midterms were here, and I was shaking in my boots. I walked in cold feet, took the midterm, thought I did okay, walked back out. A few days later, was sitting in the caf, and I remember vividly as all of my classmates texted us, or me, in my group chat with them and said, oh my goodness, grades are posted, go take a look at them. So I logged on to the online web portal where I can register for classes, where I can see my grades and my schedule and whatnot. And I anxiously just clicked into it, closed my eyes, and said, okay, the grade should be here, opened it, and my heart sunk. Like, sunk from here all the way down below. It was just gone. I couldn't believe what I saw, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, I just bombed one of the midterms, one of my classes. That can't be good. I need to graduate. It's already mid-April. I have less than a month before I graduate. In fact, hold on, I think I found out my grades maybe towards the end of March. So then at that time I was thinking, okay, it's the end of March. April's coming up. I have literally a month and a couple of weeks before I graduate. I cannot have this happening to me. Like, this is like a midlife crisis. The world is over. My walls are crumbling down. I'm thinking, this is it. I'm screwed. But then, after 10 minutes of moping, I said, that's it. I am not doing this anymore. I have to get myself back into shape. I have to rework my life and reprioritize myself and think about which is most important and start getting that done. Pick myself back up, dust myself off, had a bright smile on my face, stay positive, and tell myself, okay, Kim, you have no option. You have to pass this class. I have to get myself together. And that was the only way and the only thing that got me through the rest of the semester with everything else that was going on. Then, before I knew it, hello, grammar. Before I knew it, finals were here, and I basically lost sleep before finals week and during finals week. The weekend before finals week, I basically stayed up until 1:30, sometimes past 2 after work. Sometimes it was me staring at a book all day. I remember vividly that one Sunday before finals week, I sat on the couch with a blanket on me, and I just laid down with the book open on my lap, just staring at it for multiple hours, I think from morning until evening, and just try to fit as much information as I could, or as much as my brain could take it, and just did it till I wanted to puke, till I couldn't do it no more, until my body was finished. I worked myself hard and I worked myself past my limits because I knew what needed to get done. Sleeping at 2 o'clock almost rarely happens for me because I know what happens when I sleep that late. But as a college student about to graduate, sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and I can tell you right now, I've made plenty of sacrifices in my lifetime just to get to where I needed to be and just to get to where I am today. I worked my butt off and I kind of just decided when I'm going to study this, when I'm going to study this, and make time for everything. And then the week of finals came and I could not have been any happier to be done with my finals. And when they were finished, I felt this sigh of relief, but at the same time, still a ping of nervousness because there could still be a chance that I didn't pass. And then I would say a few days prior to graduation, and when I say that I was so anxious, every single day after all my exams were finished, I went on the web portal and I checked for my grades. Every half an hour, every time I remember to check for my grades, I did it on the daily, on the hour. I just couldn't wait for grades to come out. And finally, all my grades came out and my heart skipped a beat. It kind of jumped a little bit as if I was going on my first date and I just couldn't handle it and I was just so nervous. I closed my eyes just like this, really shut and closed and just held myself together, and then I slowly opened them, stared at my screen on my phone, and then I made this face. Where my body was like, oh my god, I passed every single one of my classes, no freaking way. And then my body kind of went numb because I didn't know how to feel because I passed that class that I really needed to pass, and I was happy, but my body couldn't feel it yet. It wasn't excited yet. It was like a delayed excitement, and I just knew that I would be where I wanted to be. And now I have officially graduated. Oh, and I got a new job. I didn't tell you guys this, but I got a new job. I applied for a new job because I need to pay my student loans off. At the end of the day, it's nothing personal. I need the experience. I need the money. And I loved my first hotel job at my last property. It was probably the best experience I could have ever gotten. I love everybody there. They're like my family and they really cared for me. So I will always keep them near and dear to my heart. Believe it or not, right when you think that you've known everything, you know everything, it's when they hit you with surprises. I am still learning something new every day because it's a new surrounding, a new property, and it's just really nerve-wracking. And sometimes I just don't think and I make stupid mistakes. But hey, it's a learning curve. I'm going to learn. I'm going to be amazing at it. I'm going to ace my new job and just give it my best and give it my all. So that is what's happening to me right now. That's what happened to me before. This is why I took a long hiatus. I am so excited to be back. I am so excited to be catering to my new viewers and making tons of new videos. Guys, when I tell you I have lots of new stuff coming up, I mean it. I have a new intro, a lot of new stuff that I'm working on right now and just in the works of, and I just can't wait to show it to you guys. Very soon you're gonna see some of my new content, my new intro, and it's gonna be the new and revised and revamped version of Nintendo Nerd Kim. Okay guys, I've kept you here long enough. If I'm not mistaken, I've been recording for about 16 minutes, and that is way too long, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. I love you guys so much. Mwah, 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 many kisses. Really, I want to thank you guys so much for just sticking around and continuing to support me, and those of you who stuck around for such a long time during my hiatus, and I know you guys are very excited for my new content, so stay and continue to stay. Make sure you go down below and hit that bell next to subscribe button so you can get notifications when I upload. I cannot stress this enough. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Woo!